If I'm being completely honest, the only reason I took that 6-hour journey to Colorado was because, after Thanksgiving, Delilah looked at me with those weary, begging eyes and asked me to scratch. I wanted to trust her when she urged, "Just come. They're trying to make an effort this time." I packed my bags and arranged for paid time off. My family had finally decided to accept me as more than just an outsider. I made the trip, even shipped gifts for her nieces and nephews in advance, wrapped with care. And for Jamal, I didn't do it for attention. I did it for Ivy's princess outfit because I still believed they might meet me halfway when I got there. Delilah asked me to come. Denver. Late afternoon. I was stiff and jet-lagged. My hands ached from carrying that heavy object, and my neck throbbed from the cramped seat. There's nothing worse than arriving at a family vacation underdressed, so I insisted on bringing my own enormous suitcase. I remember looking up at the home. It was snowing. It looked gorgeous, like something from a greeting card. The Uber pulled away. I waited for Delilah to open the door, for her smile to pierce the icy air. But instead, her mother, Frances, opened the door. Reticent expression, eyes that didn't belong to Delilah. She examined me from head to toe, as if I were a delivery. She wore a shawl with fur trimmings, the kind she couldn't quite recall ordering. With all the warmth of a refrigerator light, she added, holding a glass of red wine like a movie prop, "You're watching the kids while we go." I hadn't even stepped inside. I blinked. Babysitting. On a family vacation. The suitcase handle tightened in my grip. I stood motionless at the door, thinking maybe she was joking. It seemed welcoming, until Harper, Delilah's younger sister, appeared around the corner with a cunning laugh. "Kids, wipe your snot on the broken law in the room, God help me!" The entire party burst out laughing. Gerald's thunderous laugh echoed from the room. Frances giggled into her wine. Even the kids in the living room joined in, as if they understood. But Delilah's laugh? It was the most powerful, soft, apprehensive, harsh. Not loud enough to make me sick, but just sharp enough to let me know she wasn't stopping them. I let the suitcase drop with a thud. Entered slowly. Brushed snow off my jacket. Scanned the room. Gerald, unaware. Harper, smug. Frances, smug. Then I saw Delilah, and when she saw my expression, her smile faltered. I didn't need to yell, didn't need to raise my voice. Walked in, like a man picking words with the precision of scalpels, and said coolly, "Good luck paying for it," like someone yanked the plug from a record player mid-song. The laughter stopped. Frances lowered her glass. Harper peered, puzzled. Gerald sat up. Delilah straightened, her face paling. I didn't blink, didn't flinch. "You heard me." Suddenly, the warmth in the air, cinnamon and fireplace smoke, vanished. All that was left was hollow cheer. Gerald stepped forward, wine sloshing onto a coaster. His voice tightened. "What's this about?" I cocked my head, took my time. "You're completely booked for the one in Vail, the ski resort, paid for with my platinum. Those airport transfers, same card, small gift bags?" That was me, too. I smirked. "I have receipts, Amazon, if you'd like to distribute them like eggnog." Delilah came forward, almost tripping. "What are you saying, Marcus? What did you do?" I looked at her. No anger, just plain, dispassionate truth. I canceled everything. 72 hours ago. Processed the refunds, deleted the reservations. The card you've been using, as if it were a shared account, has always been mine. Silence. Long. Tense. Harper's phone buzzed. A child shifted uneasily. Harper began tapping frantically. Her reservation? Gone. Hands shaking. Frances sputtered, "Marcus, you can't just ruin Christmas like this." "No," I replied, picking my bag back up, not even noticing the embarrassment anymore. For the first time since I got married. Delilah, I felt something strange in this house. Not pride, not power, just clarity. I didn't raise my voice, didn't stomp, didn't smash anything. I just started speaking, quietly, steadily, like peeling old paint off a wall to reveal what's really underneath. I stepped toward the fireplace, unzipped my coat. Everyone stared, as if I had set the house on fire. Looked at Delilah first. I paid for everything. Before the SUV, before the resort check-in, before the burning. Harper's head whipped to her. It wasn't her, not her parents, not her sister. Delilah was already swiping furiously. Her face dropped with every failed confirmation. "Isn't right," she whispered. "Where's the resort app? Where's our reservation gone?" Frances blinked, like someone had tossed cold water on her. "You can't just cancel a family vacation." "Sure I can," I said calmly. "It wasn't a family vacation. It was a sponsored performance, paid for by the man you mocked the minute he walked in." Gerald stood, flushed, jaw clenched. "You ruined us, pulled the plug behind our backs." "No." I turned. "I decline to pay for people who don't value me." Delilah's eyes darted. "Why didn't you tell me?" she asked. "We could have talked about it." I let out a small, bitter laugh. "Talk? Like when your mom joked I was playing husband last month, and you laughed? Or when Harper said, 'Glad you compromised for me, us, and you didn't flinch?'" She opened her mouth to respond. I raised a hand. I didn't say anything at the time, because I thought maybe I was tired. Maybe I was just burnt out. But every time I see your family, I leave more invisible than when I arrived. And today, you laughed with them, Delilah. You didn't stop them. I know you don't mean to, but you did. Harper slammed her phone down. "You're kidding me. You canceled my spa treatments, my ski passes?" "Spa treatments," I repeated flatly. "On my card." Frances clutched her chest. "This is cruel. You humiliated us. In our own home." "No," I said, stepping closer. "You decided my wallet was my only worth. You paraded me like a trained pet. Look what he can do. Look what he can pay for." Gerald knocked over a vase. "You think money makes you a man?" he barked. "No, Gerald," I replied, voice cold but clear. "I think respect makes a man. And I've lost everything, paying for people who can't even say thank you." The room went still. Even the children froze, sensing something. Seismic had shifted. I glanced at the steps. They were just kids. They hadn't done anything wrong. Delilah's voice just above a whisper. "Marcus, what do you want from me?" I almost said, "I want you to choose me when things get hard. I want to stop feeling like an outsider in a life I helped build." But instead, I looked at her. Let everything I couldn't say rest behind my eyes. I want to stop paying the bill for people who never picked up the check on my soul. Frances turned away. Harper sat, stunned. Gerald paced. I stood there, like a dog no longer on a leash, like a man who had finally said enough. The doorbell rang, a soft ding-dong that, on any other day, would have gone unnoticed. Frances looked toward the door like it was a bomb. "That's the Uber," she whispered. "Harper, grab the bags. I..." Didn't move. Delilah tried to pretend the vacation was still going on. "It's not..." Her head snapped to me as I whispered, "Your ride." "What do you mean?" I didn't answer, walked calmly to the front door, grasped the brass handle, opened it. A woman stood on the porch, charcoal jacket, dark pants, snow-dusted. "Boots, clipboard in hand, ID badge visible. Aaron Caldwell, Colorado Child and Family Services. Good afternoon. Are you Marcus Avery?" "I am," I said, stepping aside. As she walked in with poise and professionalism, the air in the room dropped 10 degrees.